What's up, everybody? Got my package today. Since the Saab's been down for quite a while, I figured I'd share something with you guys. Oh, I just dropped it. Hang on. Anyway, I dropped my 10 mil, so I had to figure out where the hell it went. Anyway, got the ECU back, brand new ECU with a heat shield, if you can see that. Thanks to my buddy, shout out to Don. He actually helped me off of, well, I sent a code to him. He's part of the Saab group. We were talking about this before, and he actually sent me out my ECU and a spacer kit, aka heat shield, whatever you want to call it. I call it a spacer kit, but some people call it heat shield. But this right here is pretty much what I'm doing. I hooked up all the wires back up. Now I just gotta move some shit around so everything just goes back on as normal, and hopefully this thing goes back on the way it's supposed to, just like that. I'm just hoping everything goes in, which it's supposed to, but you know, with Saabs, they have their own way of dealing with stuff. So I gotta remember, hang on a second, I gotta remember how to do this. Okay, so I finally got the damn thing on, even though that took me like 5 minutes. I also need to get a new connector, because this one here should look like this one, and it broke off like a long time ago, so now I gotta push both these clips out manually, and they don't even stay in. So I gotta figure out how to take that off and put a whole new one on, so it looks like this one, and this one's gonna need replaced eventually anyway, so that's that. But we're gonna come back and we're gonna figure out if this thing starts up. Okay, so for the moment of truth. It's been a while since this thing's been started. Actually, I'll pull my hood up real quick. There we go. I think this thing had sat for a couple of days. Oh my gosh, this thing sounds so much different. It sounds so different. Sounds way different. It does sound loud though. It has a tune on it, so it's gonna sound, you know, like it normally would. Everything's hooked up the way it's supposed to. I gotta turn that around a little bit, but shout out to Don Elise. I don't know how to pronounce your name very well, but shout out to him off the Saab group. He does Don the Saab Medic. It's been a while since this thing ran, so I'm gonna let it run for a little bit. It does sound a lot better though. Let this thing warm up a little bit. Sorry if the car's a little dirty. Oops, that's a turn signal. She sounds way different now. Oh. Man, that sounds good. It doesn't have a real bad shake because I remember right before I got the code, like probably this was before I went to lunch, which was at 6. Or maybe it was, no, this was when I was doing the 10 to 7 shift. It came on right before 2 o'clock, which I go to lunch at 2. So it started shaking real bad. And then that's when the code popped up. So I didn't erase any of the codes, which I don't remember what the code is. I'd have to look it up on my messenger when I sent it to Dawn. But I sent the code straight to him. He told me what it needed. I had to pull out. If you ever get the code, which I'll post the code if anybody wants to know what the code is whenever your ECU's going out. It might be different. I'm not sure for any other car. But the code that it threw me is that I was limited performance or something, and the car started shaking really, really bad, like an abnormal shaking. And it just told me that I didn't have no boost. The car didn't want to go nowhere. So this car's been sitting for like 4 days now. It sounds really good. It's almost completely straight piped, other than the fact that there's one cat that's down here that the guy said it was hollowed out, but I don't believe him because he said that the muffler was hollowed out and it was just a straight muffler with a dual tip on it. But I'm going to be getting a different kind of exhaust pipe one here. This one was just temporary that I have. It still has a little bit of a what do you call it? Like a little bit of an idle, but not as bad as it did before. It had a rough idle before, but this is a different kind of idle. But yes, I have scheduled an appointment for next week to get the LEDs programmed on this car so I can upgrade the tail lights, the backup lights, and the license plate light bulb, and the headlights, which my front, for the halogen, I got halogens in the projector ones, and then the reflector, I got the LEDs, which they flicker, if you can see that. But other than that, not too bad. Next up, if you haven't been following my build on YouTube, or if you ain't subscribed to my YouTube or TikTok, you will not see anything that I've done to this car, which I've done a lot so far. The only thing I have to finish is the roof, which I'm waiting until probably next week. But other than that, the build, this was my build. She is a wonderful car. She is running right now perfectly fine. No issues so far. So hopefully she'll continue to run just as good as she did before, if not better. We have the heat shield one there. She's running fine. She sounds amazing. She doesn't have a real bad idle though. Excuse me. Normally she would have a rough idle. Dude, it's completely dark in here. With my 2% being on the side of the window. I literally, like, yeah. If you know me, I tint all my cars. I've done tinting. If anybody needs any tint work done, I'm the guy to go to. I do tint work. Except for the back window that needs replaced. because I need to replace the tint on there, but other than that, but she's running perfectly fine now. She's got a nasty backfire. So thanks to all subscribed to my channel. Like I said, if there's any questions, if you guys would like to know more of what's going on with the build, don't be afraid to ask. I've got so much more to do. Sounds perfectly fine. Let's try this again. Just amazing. Still sounds pretty good. Sometimes it takes forever to get to the main menu. License plate bulbs out. Kind of figured. I've got 125,000 on this. Can you believe that? And this thing drives like amazing. I gotta get the license plate bulb put in. So stay tuned. Let me know what you think. If you're interested in any services that my man can hook you up with, let him know. Contact him directly. Don't contact me, because I don't know what all services. I just know he does a lot of stuff with Saabs. My good friend, mentor, and he saved my Saab again. Well, my girl's Saab, my Saab. He saved Saabs. I'll put it in more perspective. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.